Past the hour 10 on the 9th of December 2024. Welcome to the melting point where we get to talk about issues that have to do with the country. We get to profess solutions as usual. Welcome once again to the first edition of the week. My name is Sharon Mador.
Nice to have you again. I am Ibibio. UWEM. Let's rock minds together.
Good morning, also. I don't think I said good morning officially.
Yeah, we said that off camera, but
Yeah.
it's nice to say good morning to you.
Good morning.
The nightingale in the studio.
Welcome. And we have in the studio, of course, you can already hear that laughter. You know, the only person that laughs like that is somebody that shouts Jesus is Lord every morning.
And Sister Mondays.
Good morning to you, Oteko.
Yeah, good morning, Sharon Mando, our queen of the airwaves, and the nightingale. Name is quite a beautiful thing. Osella himself, good morning.
Yeah.
And I love the old music I've been hearing as I was on the way.
Yeah.
And again, Jesus is Lord.
Always, always.
He said, now I want to use this opportunity to say happy birthday to our great and esteemed former governor, former commissioner for local government and chieftaincy affairs, former governor of the Akwa Ibom State, and has been a minister, and today is the celebrated most powerful person in the country, and no other person than His Excellency Chief Goswill Obot Akpabio, GCON, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. And I want to say happy birthday to you, and may God keep you and make you stronger as the year goes by. Renew your youth, like they normally say, like that of an eagle, and make you stronger and be able to do more for Akwa Ibom State than you have done in the past. We pray that the years in the future will be better than what we have seen in the past. So that is it. Happy birthday again, His Excellency Chief Goswill Obot Akpabio, GCON, the former governor and currently the third most powerful citizen in Nigeria, who happens to be from Akwa Ibom State.
Yeah.
Okay, happy birthday, as we've already given our birthday wishes. Okay, let's go into, we have a number of things I would like to discuss. I'm not just going to the Ghana election, but let's just go straight into our conversations. First of all, we're starting with Akwa Ibom State before we leave Akwa Ibom State and go to the national scene. Now, the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly Committee on Public Accounts has cautioned ministries, departments, and agencies in the state for failing to comply with financial regulations. The committee's chairperson, Eric Akban, stated this during the ongoing hearing on the 2023 budget audit report submitted by the Office of the Auditor General in Uyo yesterday. Now, Akban lamenting that several agencies were found to have weak internal controls, which pose potential risk of financial mismanagement and fraud, vowed that his committee would leave no stone unturned in recovering misappropriated funds for the government's coffers. He emphasized the importance of MDAs maintaining accurate records and adhering to established financial protocols to foster public trust in government operations. And warned that defaulting MDAs would henceforth be held accountable. Before we start going into the solutions and all of that with Twekon, we need to go into the crux of the matter. What would you say is the challenge for the MDAs? Why are we still having, because this is something that we've been talking about for a while now. Yeah. Transparency. How do you use funds? And we know about it. How much money is coming in, how much money is going out, your revenue, and all of that. All of these things, some of these ministries, departments, and agencies, we are still struggling to know what their income and their expenditures are. So what really are the challenges?
The challenges with the MDAs, there are two things involved according to Basket Mount. You know, the two things involved is, number one is from those who are allocating this money to them, the processes of their getting this money. In fact, the process of their getting the money will determine how these monies are being managed itself. Because when you have corruption infused in the process of getting this money, it is difficult to ask them to make account of how these monies are being used. You know, in the first place, you know, you can look at so many agencies of government that are having issues with getting their due allocation at all or on time. You know, you look at agencies like Agri Development Program. The moment the World Bank suspended its, spending money in that program, we have seen over time and that it is very difficult for these agencies like that to even get their 1 quarter allocation in a year. In fact, it's very difficult. If you get, is it actually the amount they are supposed to get? It may not be what was approved in the budget. You look at a lot of agencies, like even in the educational sector. As we speak today, we had a scandal in education quite recently. But let Akwa Ibom people know that the first 10 due allocation of for schools in secondary schools has not been given to school principals as we speak. The first term is over. I'm not sure as of now that there is any school as of early this month, which is still December. We are seeing the early part of this December, or as of late last month, as of when that scandal broke out in that secondary school, the senior science secondary school in Ibibio. The allocation meant, which is just I think either 250 naira per student per term, has not been given to any school for the first term. You know, you look at so many other agencies, it is a problem that is across board. So by the time this money comes to these agencies, possibly maybe monies are made, either monthly allocations are supposed to be given, sometimes quarterly, sometimes by the end of the year, maybe 1 quarter allocation will actually get to many of these agencies. And now, how would you now ask them to be accountable with that money? Because we know what happened to the rest of the approved allocation to these agencies. It may not get to them throughout the year. You know, like the former immediate past MD of Ibom Power, he was in the House of Assembly and he made it known to everybody that since he came into that office, nothing has been, no allocation made, appropriated has been given to that, this Ibom Power has been given to that company to run, that they have been running from internal resources that they have been generating over time. So before we even ask these agencies, that's why I say it is simply a cause and effect situation. What has happened as the money comes will determine what will happen with internally. Because if the money coming to these agencies are interfered with by corrupt practices, how then do you expect these agencies to do the right thing? Because the moment you compromise your authority over certain agencies in the process of allocating money to them, you can never ever tell them do this and they do it. They cannot. I have been involved in contract before and I can tell you it is very, very difficult. You know, so these are the challenges that we see. This is the problem. So what we need to do first is to sort out that problem from where the money comes from, how the process of money, the allocated money getting to agencies will determine how these agencies manage their money, and it will sort out the problem that the House Committee on Finance is asking of.
Okay, and if you're just joining us, this is Melting Point on your stereo. I'd like to know, Tweko, don't you think the House of Assembly also shares a part of this blame, because they should be performing some oversight function on these institutions or MDAs to know how far, so far, how much has been given, to whom much is given, much is expected.
Yes, certainly.
And who are we putting this blame on? I think the House of Assembly too should also be part of this, process of investigating and knowing how these monies are given and how they are expended. Now, in Ibibio, local government in the House of Assembly has put this up. Do you think the blame should be put on the table of the MDAs or on the leadership of these MDAs, or leadership of these MDAs?
You see,
the internal security, internal financial management.
Let us look at the House of Assembly itself. I want to thank the House member, I think the chairman of the Committee on Finance, right, for at least coming out for the first time. We have always been complaining about the docility of our Houses of Assembly. It is worse at the state, a little bit better at the center, but it's very, very bad at the state level, where the House members are complete and totally yes men. They don't, carry out their functions, which is supposed to be an oversight function on every activity of government. They need to look at what every agency is doing at every point in time, which we have not been seeing. But we thank God that you are seeing it now, that we are coming up now to ask questions. I know people, many agencies go there to defend their budget like we have seen recently, but they don't actually carry out. So one, we need to thank them for this kind of thing. Again, we need to encourage every agency, every what do you call them in the House of Assembly? Every committees to carry out their due oversight functions on any MDA that's supposed to, and to do it in the proper way. The first thing is let them carry it out properly first. The second problem is that let them not look at this thing as an opportunity to make money. Do you understand me? Opportunity to make money is that normally in our society, when situations like this occur, it becomes a new opportunity for me to make money. So you simply go to those agencies and you make demands. Whatever you see that is wrong, as far as your hands are greased, you will not come back to do exactly the work you're doing. You're simply using that to make money. So these are the issues they need to understand and do the right thing. The point. So when you take these actions and do it properly, the MDAs are going to sit up and do what is right. Now you were asking about whether the responsibility lies on the leadership of the MDAs. The leadership of the MDAs are appointees. Most of them are civil servants. Even those who are politicians, they are simply appointees. They answer to the person who appointed them. And if you cannot get to the person who appointed them, you understand me? You're not going to get what you want. You see, it is sometimes difficult for a head of an agency to even meet the governor. So the almost what do you call it? The buck stops at the table of the governor, because he's actually the leader of all these agencies. He's the one who keeps it in trust for the whole society. So what should the governor do, who is the head, not actually the head of the agency, is the actual head of these agencies? What the governor must do himself is to have the minimum acceptable standard of operation for every agency. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Now, take for example the Waste Management Agency. There has to be the minimum acceptable standard that you have to see in the operation of the Waste Management Agency. You go to the road, how come we are still having refuses on the road? How come it is not packed? How come the gutters are dirty? How come we are seeing grasses grow at the middle of the road? You understand me? As long as you pass any road and you notice grass growing high, you know certainly well that these agencies, the minimum acceptable standard has been faulted. You go to schools, you look at secondary schools and primary schools. You go there from time to time to visit, and there has to be the minimum acceptable standard of how schools must run. If you notice that it is not run that way, then something is wrong. Now look at the this Christmas park that we have currently going on. The Christmas park is on now. It is only when the Christmas period came that they went to clear that place. Every time I pass through that place, I say to myself, if this is where we are going to have the Christmas village stuff or something like that, this place must be perpetually kept beautiful and clean throughout the year. Maintenance culture is poor. So, but you always wait until it is Christmas, we do fire brigade approach. So the governor must have a standard, and let that standard become a culture. When it becomes a culture, every agency will key into it and maintain that standard. But as long as the governor himself is only reacting to when something like this happens, like it happened at the Christmas village when they said people were being charged so much money, like it happened in the school, and you jump ahead to put up a committee, and the committee goes inspect that thing. The moment people's back are turned, everybody forgets, and everything goes back to normal. Corruption will thrive in these agencies. It's simply going to be an avenue for people to make money, not to provide services for the people. So this is what Mr. Governor has got to do himself. Because this is a leader of the people. It is this vision, that these people are driving. And if the chief driver of that vision is not on the driver's seat at most times, how then do you expect your small drivers who are driving other smaller vehicles like a car, like bike, to drive your vision the way you're supposed to drive better than you. It's not going to happen. So these are the challenges we see today.
Okay, Otuekong, you've mentioned the governor, but one will say that it's not just up to the governor. How can the Office of the Auditor General and the Public Accounts Committee enhance the audit process to ensure timely detection and correction of financial irregularities in some of these state agencies?
Yeah, I think they should be up and doing. Now, let us look at two things. Like I said, there are two things involved here. This is the auditors, just like we saw in education when that thing happened. They are auditors in government who are supposed to have done those jobs, to go